Thank you for joining us for the January 11th Board of Selectmen's meeting. If everybody would rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have nothing under announcements or appointments this evening. Carrying a delegation? Okay, seeing none. Moving on, no correspondence this evening. Reports, the town administrator's report.
Mostly it's budgets. That's taken up like 99% of my time. And reminder that we will be meeting Thursday at 5 o'clock for the budgets. Last week I was asked to get a hold of the company we contacted about replacing the gates on the dam on R.S.U Lake. And the response I got back was, this requires personnel to be in the water and to call after the ice melts.
Let's wait until summer.
Yeah.
I get a feeling personnel's gonna mean me.
No, you. They'll have, no, I'm not letting you near those gates.
Pass this over. Just for when Mike speaks out.
Yeah, we might need it. My aim's pretty good, you know. Back from my softball days.
The only other thing I have left for the board tonight is, we had the inspection done by the Department of Labor, and we had some ergonomic deficiencies, and we are working to put them together, finished. The main one that they had big concern about was the chairs. Checked around different companies, supplies, and Warrants Office Supplies came up with the best price. One thing is, they'll give a 30-minute chair demonstration to everybody on how that chair should fit them. Because the problem you can have in the past, you can order a chair and have it delivered. If they don't know how to adjust it to themselves, it's no good. So, and that's the problem that we had with the chairs, is they have to be individual. So we have that coming, and I think with that, I think there's one. The other thing they had concern with the gates out there, but there's not really much we can do about that. But I think once these are purchased and in place, then we have to send an abatement letter to say we are now in compliant. And I'm not sure at that point if they come down and do another inspection or not, but.
What happens to the old chairs?
Well, we've been having a discussion on that, and I think since these are getting so old and rickety, that we'll go through, and the good ones, I think we're going to have enough to bring out here to use, and they'll be on wheels, and you can adjust them, and
Well,
You know
will
what I
we
mean?
be having disabilities because of they're not?
Ergonomic.
yeah, right.
Well,
We'll have it fixed right to you, David.
Okay, good.
Mental disability is very much so.
We just get up every 10 minutes and do jumping jacks, and it's
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
You know, there's some irony on all this. We just got done talking about the certifications that are needed for a firefighter, and we come to find out that they got to take a 30-minute class to sit in a chair, on the front office. I mean, it's,
Well, what they plan on doing is like taking 10 minutes, take a group in 10 minutes, do the girls out here for 10 minutes, then go to a couple of the offices that they can combine to, because you can get a chair, and people may think, oh, you just get a chair and you push a lever, but it's not that easy. There's a lot of components to it, and I think eventually we're really going to have to take a look out here for our ergonomics, for even our workstations out here, because that's causing a lot of problems.
I had to go through a 40-hour class on economics for the phone company, 40 hours.
Which,
So they're highly adjustable. He's laughing, but there's one lever.
Making a great case against large government, even for the Democrat.
Nancy, you're also going to give us an update on the Mass Camp Road.
Yeah, I
When you
told,
refer to large government, you talking about the size of the people or the size of the...
Both.
I can say that.
I spoke and gave the road commissioner a memo telling him the Board of Selectmen wanted an update each week on the mass camp. I saw him yesterday, and he said he was going to come in, and I called him, talked to him a few hours ago, and he thought he was going to come in and give one. So I told him that we wanted one each week.
Okay.
And on a personal note, last Sunday, my husband lost his wallet, and a couple that live here in town found it. They called us and met my husband and gave it back to him. And we thanked him, and I just want to say, again, thank you very much to Eric and Alicia. It's beyond words what we can say. It's very nice to know that
Good, honest people.
good, honest people are out there,
They're Waterboro residents.
and Waterboro residents.
Good. It's always nice to hear those kinds of things.
Yeah, especially after you've had a conversation with a contract deputy.
Okay. Moving on, Selectmen's report. Anybody? Okay. John?
The Friends of the Library met last night, and all I can say is Jack will probably come in another week, but we're waiting on the federal government's disposition on earmarks.
All right, moving on to committee reports. We have first up the Parks and Rec Director, but I'm going to take this out of order and let Cindy go first.
I don't want to fall asleep.
Does that require a motion?
And Cindy is from our Old Home Days Committee.
Yes, I'm Cindy Durney, and I am on the Old Home Days Committee. Our first meeting is Thursday, so it's kind of hard to update you on what is happening with us. We did meet in November, and we met for about a half hour just to kind of look at where we are and going into this year. Last year, we spent $18,560 for the event. This year, and we started out last year at this time with $11,287.87, and we were able to put on the
Fire
event.
alarm. I'm sorry, guys, I got the fire alarm going off next door upstairs, Pam, on your floor. I'm sorry tonight. Continue by all means, I'm going to go put the fire
Just
out.
go away, Mike.
I'll talk real quick, so I'm out of here. This year, we are starting with $9,325.59. So we're actually starting like $2,000 less than we did last year. We do have a couple of things that we're talking about. We are going to run another casino trip to Foxwood, and that would be in May. Last year, we made $764 for the one-day event, and we're hoping this year, with a little bit more advertising, we can fill the bus and make a little bit more. Last year, we put out donation cans, and we put them out almost toward the end of March, by the time we kind of figured out where we were going and what we needed to do. They hopefully will be out this week, so that'll give us kind of a jump toward a little extra money with people putting in a quarter or whatever change they have. It really does add up, and it did help. Last year, we made almost $400 with just the cans that were out. So that was really quite wonderful. Last year, we did make $3,400 with the vendors. So this year, I don't know if we're really, because we haven't had our meeting until Thursday, so we don't know if we're really going to raise that amount, but that was quite a bit. We actually made $1,100 more than the year before on the vendors. The booklet, we made $1,700, but this year we're hoping to do quite a few more ads, start a little earlier, and because we Kerry DeAngelis was wonderful because she set it up, with one design, and then we found another printing company that was really very inexpensive, so she really had to change that. So this year, we're going to go with that printing company, but we'll also look at a couple of other ones to compare those at that level on that printing. So we're really looking forward to it. We lost 3 members this year, which is really going to be kind of very hard. So if anyone would like to join our Old Home Days, we certainly are looking for new committee members. We are also on the web, the Town Hall web, and we're looking, hopefully by the end of this meeting or the next meeting coming up, we will have our theme for this year. And this year, we're very excited because it is our 25th year that you have put on this Old Home Days. So it's really kind of an exciting year to be on the Old Home Days. So do you have any questions that I can add to? But with the website, if anybody has any comments, please send them to the website because there is an email there. And if you have a theme that you thought, if you don't want to come to the meeting, we will answer your email or any kind of suggestions. So, thank you.
And that meeting is this Thursday night?
Well, it's every other Thursday. I mean, it's second and fourth Thursday of each month.
Okay.
So, and it's at 6:30 in the old town hall. So,
I was just kind of curious, do you do any assessment of how much revenue this event generates for the business community in town?
no, we have not. No, we have not, but it would be, I know a lot of the, like the House of Pizza and some of the people that are down in that area, they're thrilled because of the people coming in and out and stopping to get pizzas. I know he was thrilled to put our can out again this year. So I know we have not done any assessment. So I don't know where to go with that. So, I mean, as far as, because most people come to the field as far as to do the activity. So we don't really send them to like a restaurant or to, but if you have some ideas that you want us to look into, we certainly are open to that.
I was just curious if you did like an after-event survey of perhaps, from the different businesses that might have been supported by the patrons that come into town, for the festivities, for the fireworks and so forth, and kind of get an idea of, how this event contributes back to the community itself in terms of, making the businesses more viable.
We can look into that. We can look into that. No, we have not done that. And it is something that we can definitely talk about, and as we're going for our ads, we can ask them.
Yeah. I'm
That
curious,
would be
is it because,
something.
I don't know how Portland does it, but maybe that would be a good place to start, because when they have one of the ships that dock in there and the people, go into town to visit around the old port and so forth.
Yeah.
They always, you see, several days or a week later or whatever, they come out with a statistic on, how much money that
They actually
layover
bring in.
generated,
Yeah.
for the community, so.
I think with the cruise ships, I would be assuming that, I mean, I know I've been downtown and been in the area when cruise ships have been there, and the vendors do, because they come off just to buy local trivets and, but as the Old Home Days, we don't normally set up. I know our vendors, when they come and they set up at that day, they come back every year, and we're added to it last year because of the people that do come to the event. So I know the vendors per se do make out quite well.
Yeah.
So, but businesses in town, we don't send them to there, and so I don't know. But we can certainly look into it for you, or tell us what you're really kind of looking for us, or, in
Just
that
thought it would
direction.
be interesting to know, how much money the town generates by having this event. So it certainly, I guess, it would be a selling point, and obviously wanting to continue this type of activity year after year after year. like, because it's a big boon to business when the cruise ship comes in, but obviously we don't have that. I don't think we're going to be pulling up in a Ossipee Lake anytime soon.
We could look into that, no.
But,
Yeah, yeah, or we can,
I was just thinking that, your local business in South Waterboro being polled, but by and large, when people go to Old Home Days, I think as far as lunch and things, people probably eat there.
they do,
With the vendors that
yes.
are there, so, but they may, on the fireworks night, that probably the milk room and
The House of Pizza,
do
yes,
probably
they
pretty
did.
well.
Yep, they do. But they, like you said, most people come to our event and then come in and use our vendors to eat, and then they do a little shopping and the different, the Girl Scouts and the different groups that set up, they really get a lot of exposure. So that's, and they do make money because they want to come back every year, so, which is very nice. So.
Any other questions for Cindy?
I know most of the time, getting back to your businesses, most of the businesses in town donate to the Old Home Days, which is really quite an honor, and very supportive of the Old Home Days. So by giving us trucks and giving us the golf carts, and it's really, it's wonderful. It's a nice committee to be on.
Now,
So.
have you encouraged the vendors, not vendors, but the business in town to sponsor a float or something?
A lot of them are in the parade.
Are they?
Actually, quite a few people come, and our parade is growing every year. So last year, we didn't have a lot of people per se on the streets because we had rain once they landed, the rains, the heavens opened. So, but the floats every year have been added, probably 3 to 4 every year. More floats, people coming to enjoy and decorate, and a lot of town support, really. And I think they've enjoyed being into the parade. So,
I was thinking of trying to get How to have something demonstrated in the parade.
Could be very
Yeah.
interesting.
well, it could be, and maybe them being in town now for a year and things kind of working things out, we will, address that. But a lot of the businesses in town are very supportive, and we want to make sure even all of them have been very helpful. So,
before you depart, though, I'd like to say that the committee has done a remarkable job with the Old Home Days.
Thank
after
you.
year. I mean, it's been,
thank you. We all work well together, and we're looking for new members, but we work well together. So, and it's a long couple of days, but it's a wonderful couple of days, and you really get to meet some wonderful people, so I highly recommend it. So,
Bob?
For your information, Howland now is already in the works for this year. So we hope to get one.
okay, thank you very much.
you don't get to drive it, do you, Ron?
The selectmen have to ride on one
Yeah.
of those tanks.
But, yeah,
All
they
right.
get five tanks for the selectmen.
Bob, are you going to report on the Parks and Rec Committee? I think Mike got occupied.
Yeah, he's got his board that you better hold off.
Why don't we
He's got-
move?
Well, I didn't know if the Parks and Rec Committee had a separate report from the Parks and Rec Director.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on until Mike comes back. Under new business, discuss, vote joint meeting with 6 towns of R.S.U. 57 on January 25th. Gordon brought this to our attention last week. The superintendent would like to have a meeting of all of the 6 boards of selectmen on January 25th that are served by R.S.U. 57 to talk about the budgeting. And it would be on our regular Tuesday night. Gordon has offered up the fire station as a location that's central and large enough to accommodate the group. We could, what time is it, at 5?
That's correct, yes.
So we would still have to have a selectmen's meeting so that we could do the warrants and bills and payroll, but then if we wanted to do that early and then skip over to the fire department for the meeting, or do we want to participate in that meeting? Gordon, did you have any more information on it?
I almost think that it would be a monumental insult to host a meeting within the community and then have the host not be present. I just don't think that that's very good at all. So, I mean, we're either going to do it or not do it, but I don't want to say, yeah, come on over and visit, but we're not going to visit with you. And I think that we could have, a meeting at, 4:30 that day and just do bills and payroll, and that's it, like we did, the last one in the month of December of last year. And that we were there all of what? I think 10 minutes max. I don't even think it was.
About 5 minutes.
And that was, getting us to leave too. So I don't think that, that's going to be really that much of an imposition. But I do think that the impact that they are indicating that the school budget could possibly take on, in our next tax year is significant enough that we as elected officials really need to be present with all the other elected officials and send a strong message, both to the school department on, we can only fund so much. I mean, it's just, you don't have a, wide open.
It's not limitless funds. We don't have a
Right.
money tree in the backyard.
And, while we certainly want to have a very good level of education for the, the residents of the 6 towns, particularly with respect to Waterboro, it can't be, so all-encompassing that, everybody just goes bankrupt to support it. It's.
So I'd entertain a motion to make the 25th meeting just for bills and payroll and then attend the meeting at the fire station.
So,
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? And you're going to take care of all of those arrangements?
Yep.
The meeting going to be run by Frank?
I'll provide that information, because I'm still not sure whether it's going to be the entire school board there too or not. So who the moderator is going to be at this point.
But it will be the school, correct?
That's correct. It's a meeting with all the boards of selectmen of the 6 towns and the school. So, and Mr. Lowe, are we set for audio-visual taping of that? And we will be supplying DVDs to the other communities for rebroadcast.
All right. Mike, are you all set?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little concerned, obviously, but
All right, well,
we walked every square inch of the place. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna.
I think it's a bad defector.
Yeah. I threw the main off and it killed it finally. There's 2 separate panel boxes next door. Breaker box 2 killed it after a 5-second pause. It hasn't come back on.
FD,
We have our art class, excuse me?
is the FD over there?
Excuse me?
The fire department?
Well, Matt walked over. They didn't know. Nobody's called them. Pam was here, walked the whole building. Matt just walked in it. We're thinking it's just, like David said, it's just a bad unit itself. So I don't know how you want to proceed, but it's certainly a concern with, as many people that we have coming in and out. I mean, Tops is over there right now, and our art classes are beginning in 5 minutes as well. I mean, I wouldn't have a concern about something taking place tonight, but something's going on clearly that needs to be looked at. Let me give you my shtick here, and then I want to go back over there, and let me get everybody out of the building. I'll do another walkthrough. David, maybe if you're available, you can come over to us, something with you guys.
Probably would be good to have the fire department who's
Fine
trained
by
in
me.
doing that and
Fine by me.
coming over
I mean,
and,
It was deafening over there. We were like running out the doors to speak to each other,
yeah,
so
I
it's...
think having the fire department come over
Let's
is
do it.
probably the best.
Let's do it.
best
Let me
option.
do this, and then I will call them, and I'll have whomever is over there come over and do a full inspection of the location and so forth. I went downstairs, I've checked. Pam is next door checking the one office that we didn't check, the ACO's office. Tiny, couldn't imagine it, but...
So let's get on with your
Okay,
report
let's
so
get
you
on
can
with
get
it.
back to...
Yep, let's do that, okay, yep.
And it's going to be quick so that you can
No,
go
it's
over
not
there,
gonna be
right?
quick at all.
I tried.
I made up copies of my budget proposal for the year. I don't know if you guys have it, but I figured you could take a look at it. Let's start with that, and then I'll get into what's been taking place year to date with our rec programs and so forth. This is what I proposed. It's pretty much in line with what you saw last year. Claire, would you like one? Follow along with. So our revenue breakdown is on the front page right there. And my prediction for 2011-2012 puts us in the neighborhood of $160,000 in revenues. It's quite a sum for a town that's as small as ours is, and it represents a 400% increase over what was taking place 10 years ago when you made the ignominiable error of hiring me to do this. Break it out by activity, we got camps at 68,000, sports at 20,000, summer rec at 65. Anything?
No, I think it's a policy around.
Okay.
I've been talking to this.
American Legion Baseball is a donation program. Our local businesses take care of that. Very nice of them to do that. It's been a really good program for us. Junior rec fees, that's an old designation for one of our camps. It gets rolled into teen, basically. I put 0 there and bumped up all the money to the camp activity slot. Adult fees, soda machine, we got rid of that. Bus donation, Gold Bale Park, it's miscellaneous stuff. Usually we collect a few $100s in donations for the boat launch from the ice fishing derby gang. It's been very good to us as well. So that's the revenue breakdown. Expense breakdown, top line salaries, we had 57, a little under 57 last year. You know, the total is really much higher than that, salaries being such that if you look at camp payroll and other payroll, you roll it all into one ball of wax, and I come up with about 138,000. You've got myself, boat launch attendant, Gold Bale Park attendant, our maintenance man, our camp and sports director, Lisa Tudor. Audra is our assistant director. She came upon with us last June. Has been very, very reliable and important to us. Lives on Townhouse Road. It gives us easy access to somebody that can manage our Funergy program, like on a day like tomorrow, where we're going to be open, no matter what. No matter what, we're open tomorrow. The only time we're going to close that program is if the governor declares a state of emergency with enough time for us to alert the public to be able to do that. I don't see that happening yet. We've been telling our parents that we will be open tomorrow. So then we have Todd Smith, who's been very reliable to us, does a lot of different things. Sue Canifarina, she's at Funergy day and night with us as well. And then my part-time staff for my 10 weeks of summer camps totals about $21,000 in payroll for them. Health insurance, my proposal asks you to finally, after 8 years, provide an official position that manages sports and camps. So I added the difference in health insurance to cover one person. Retirement will increase as well. It'll be an extra $600 or $700 there. Travel, about the same. Training, Dues and subscriptions, we don't have any. Office supplies, I order 2 calendars a year, basically, from Pam. And gas and diesel, that ends up being a wash. Revenues take care of the bus. Roll-off containers, we haven't had a dumpster in years. Electricity, we've got several poles that we're responsible for around town. Lions Field, boat launch, Friendship Park. It adds up to about $1,000. Telephone, that was a very good idea by you folks this year. Taking the phones out of the town issue, making them personal phones. Certainly my phone number is very important. Everybody knows it. The onus is on me to manage it. You provide a $40 reimbursement a month. Very smart. I think that's worked out very well for you. It's in fact reduced the budget necessary to manage my phone. So I think that's a win-win for everybody there. Vehicle, I don't know why I put $850 there. Any idea? What is that?
Repairs, what do you, I mean,
Tires?
I don't know.
It's for the bus.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what we need $850 designated for that. In fact, I remember John yelling at me, he wouldn't want to see a line item for the bus a few years ago. I'm not sure. I must have been me thinking that.
I assumed it was for repairs for the bus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I put bus equipment under incidentals for $4,500 on the last line. I don't know if there's anything that would, I mean, maybe it needs, the tires are good, I look at it all the time, and we're not putting any mileage on it. I don't know, let me rethink that. But mowing is not a line item that's required. Equipment, one thing that I think we've been lacking, and certainly if you drive around town and look, our signs are deteriorating, as all of our signs had been in Waterboro. And we need to look good. We've got a Go Bill Park sign that needs to be repaired. I'd like to see us get consistent with our signage. So I came up with $4,600 to recreate and give a fresh look to all of our locations. We've got Fay Park is all set, that's got brand new signs. We got Go Bill Park, Friendship Park, the Lions Field, and other locations like the Taylor House that we're indirectly responsible for might need to be looked at too. So I'd like to have us do that and get consistent with the Recreation Department's logo and the State Parks Association's logo as well. Advertising, kept it about the same. A lot of that gets shifted to our catalogs that we've been doing. And we've been spending a lot of time this year just simply creating flyers and handing them out at the schools. It's one of them right in front of you that we just recently handed out to all the kids. I should have passed those on to you guys too, but we'll deal with them. So we've been taking these to all the schools to try to save money on advertising. We put one in the hand of every kid at Lions School, every kid at Waterboro Elementary School, and every kid at the middle school as well. And David has done a really nice job for us getting our stuff up on the website, creating some different links and stuff to click on in our schedules. And we're cranking. I mean, we're cranking pretty good. I think the revenue numbers show that clearly. And I think the budget expense, if you took out my incidentals or you took off my signage, I believe the total would be right at $47,000 like it was last year. And I'll get into that right now if you don't mind.
Let's go through his budget again.
No, they haven't even looked at the budget yet, you know.
All right. Well, this is what we talked about the last time I came up. Our year-to-date revenues for the calendar year of 2010, and our department, the municipality's fiscal year, begins on July 1. Since July 1, we've taken in $76,602. If you look historically at our revenues since I've managed the department, that total has often been as much as we've ever made for a full 12 months. Our after-school program has really banged our revenues to a point where we're thriving financially, I would like to suggest. So we started off at $46,000 in revenues in the year 2001. We bumped it up, we stayed level pretty much and got ourselves into a really bad economy in 2008 and 9. And then this year we walked in and we created our largest program despite all of this madness, and we see ourselves looking at $130,000. I think that's probably going to end up being a little low. I would expect more in the range of $140,000. You know, we're right in the middle of the fiscal year here. 76 twice is 152. So I see us doing this just like I predicted at least, and hopefully that will hold true. One of the things that I think you guys need to consider that I can get into a little bit is how we used to carry forward our recreational dollars. I think really it's time to revisit that and let the department do what it does and create a fund or create something that can perhaps one day have light at the end of the tunnel to get us our own building. And we've clearly proven that with 1,500 square feet of a 40-year-old building, we can bring in incredible revenues. Increase that and I feel like we're really home free. And we're providing all of our residents a place to recreate, have dances, have chili fests and so forth, have parties, have basketball tournaments, have any number of things, have movie night, bring in a widescreen TV, and have the whole community enjoy a movie night like a lot of municipalities do. So in the coming months, I'd like to have you consider that reality of us saving our revenues, be it a simple carry forward from year to year that we vote on, it's usually the second or third article, or specifically getting back to our savings account that we still have that is for a community center project that's got about $804 in it. So I'd like you guys to consider that going forward. And as we go along here, I thought I'd show you how we're breaking down our revenues year to date, basically. These are our 2010 camps. You've heard this. This ended in July. It's part of our current fiscal year, basically. On December 31st, our revenues were $93,000, but our year-to-date revenues were $76,000. On June 30th of last year, the $20,000 miscellaneous dollars that you're not seeing got rolled into the municipal surplus. That's recreational dollars. You're using it for something that isn't recreation, that's something that isn't parks and recreation. It's not really fair to recreation for you to do that, in my opinion, but you can discuss that. So our sports programs are still thriving quite well. There's not a lot of dollars in them, but there's a ton of activity and our residents need it. Our basketball program, we're really just getting started. It's taken in $4,700. We're incredibly busy. We had 7 games on Saturday. We've got 7 games booked every Saturday, 2 games booked every Friday, 2 games booked every Wednesday. We've got 4 of our teams, and the entire district plays in our building. So it's really helped us do a couple of things. Number one, we charge admission, a $1 donation we ask for at the middle school. And we sell some snacks over there as well, and it does a few things. It provides us an opportunity to pay some of our volunteers that help us out with refereeing. It provides a couple of individuals with some part-time work that they need. And it makes people happy to be there and show up and watch their kids play. Last year we took in $11,000 on basketball. I don't know if we'll get up that high this year, but we'll see what happens. Our gymnastics program, $3,450 year to date. We're really just getting into that. We've only had 10 weeks of it. We don't run it in the summertime, so there's probably, there's probably 14 weeks a year where we don't run that, and we've only had 10 weeks of it right now, so I would expect to see that double or something like that. We just started an art program. It's on the flyer. It worked out really, really well. We had 13 kids in it. We had an art show on December 21st. We hung up all the stuff. It was really amazing. The kids did a wonderful job of being creative. They did pastels, they did charcoal drawings, they did painting. We had Pete make us some easels that turned out really nice, so it's been a really nice thing. We just started our second session tonight, and we'll be having another art show, I think, around February 22nd. We want to make sure we let all the parents and the kids know when they can be there to show off their stuff. And we had hot cocoa and cookies and so forth that night. It was a nice time. We got a tiny little soccer element with 8 or 10 people that just want to keep soccer going year-round. So we gave them a 1-hour slot at the elementary school and charged $20 a whack. That ended last week. I don't know if I'll be able to accommodate them going forward. We're so busy with basketball, and Saturdays aren't working out for them because they're already playing, and weeknights are just real tough, so I don't know how that'll go. Zumba is a new thing we've just started doing as well. It's really been epidemic in the district. It's everywhere. They have it in Saco, they have it in Lyman or Alfred, and we brought it over to Waterboro Elementary School. It's working out right well. We're not spending any money on it. We're paying the instructor to manage it, and there's anywhere from, I've seen as many as 20 people going at it over there every week. It's a little bit of an issue because the elementary school occasionally can't accommodate us on Fridays over there, so we've been scrambling for, 1 week we brought them over here, cleaned all the stuff out, had Zumba over here. Another week we had it at the middle school. There's another movie night, I believe, this week where we might have to shift them as well. So we're doing our best to accommodate everybody and keep it cheap and get people exercise, and I think that'll work out just fine. Our swim program has been long term. Before me, 11, 12 years at least. It's not something that I generally care about making money on. I'm much more concerned about our children living around 89 bodies of water not drowning. And thank God none of them ever have. Our instructor is amazing. She came up through the program. She's 23 or 24 years old right now. She's been managing it for us for the last 3 or 4 years, and she does a wonderful job. This summer, we're going to incorporate it into our camp like a lot of groups do, since we have our own vehicle. That will really help us provide an additional service, because a lot of people in camp want to take swim, but it's just not feasible for parents to be able to drive kids somewhere at 10 a.m. So we're going to offer that as an addition to our camp. We'll put a price tag on it that's higher than just the basic camp registration, and I think we'll see a good increase in swim lessons. We usually provide about 8 weeks of swim each summer at Lake Arrowhead's indoor pool. Very good place for us to be. They close the building, is closed except to us, and we provide like only 6 or 7 kids in the pool at a time with 2 instructors, so that's been very nice. Our cheering program is pretty small. We have about 20 girls in it. We charge $30. It runs from Halloween to Christmas, 4 and 5-year-olds. It's great. They have a great time. Wrap it up at the end of the year with a pizza party and a trophy, and they seem very happy. We might be continuing with a cheer program going forward, but we're still trying to work that out. I mentioned the Funergy revenues over the first 17 weeks of the school year. Right in the middle of the school year we're at right now, $26,000. We've got about $4,000 outstanding right now, so I think we're looking at in the neighborhood of $60,000 for 1 year in revenues there, which tops all of our camps from last year. Excuse me. So it's really turned into a monster right there, and it's providing 7 or 8 people with work, and it's doing it. It's really something that it's stressful, but the parents are very happy with it. We're already talking about how we're going to look forward to next year and incorporate the school's transportation department into the mix, so we aren't responsible as much for driving the kids to school. Currently, each morning, we're taking 2 trips in our bus. We bring a load over, we come back, we pick up the other load, we bring those other kids to school. At 3 o'clock, we drive back over, we pick up the first 15, then we drive back over and pick up the rest of them. We got started late, so the transportation department couldn't accommodate us, and they'll only take children that do both. They get on the bus in the morning, and they get on the bus in the afternoon. Now you're sick, it doesn't matter, but they can't take somebody on Tuesday and somebody on different on Thursday. What they need is a specific list of individuals who are with us well in advance of them getting organized, and I know Tim and I know his assistant over there very well, so we're getting organized already with what's going to take place in September, and we're looking forward to that. We're already talking to parents about that. This other stuff I've already talked about this year at my last meeting. Our senior lunches are doing fantastic. We did 600 meals this year. Cribbage is very popular, of course, still. We just had a trip. We saw a Christmas Carol, Robert, last week, 2 weeks ago. Had a really nice time. We had a full bus. We had 14. Yeah, we filled the bus. I drove. Went really well. We fixed that rattly window. It was a nice quiet ride over there. And we saw Dickens's Christmas Carol. A month before that, we saw Hitchcock's 39 Steps. A very nice time. And we're looking forward to doing a trip, I think, in March to see some piano thing. Haunted Town Hall, you've been there. Budgets, we talked about that. Training, you know that routine. Hiring, I'm responsible for it. Meetings, here we are. Staff, had 20 people on the books. We got 8 people on the books currently doing part-time stuff for us, working out very, very well. Leah Grant, that's a few years ago. Here's all the maintenance. That it?
You can take out Fay Park out of the maintenance.
Yes, true, you're right. You're right. Fay Park was taken over by the Land Trust. Very nice dedication we had in August. There's a wonderful commemorative picture up there that we had donated by Kerry DeAngelis. And it's a nice spot. Don't tell anybody about it, like Bob would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anything?
John?
Energy expenditures versus income.
Big bucks. You know, we're spending a lot of money. My basic payroll, I did a look at it because the first 2 weeks, I've had 19 weeks of payroll and 17 weeks of Funergy, and we're right on about dead even. There's $4,000 outstanding that I mentioned. Over the last 8 weeks, we've spent, our payroll's been about $1,300 a week, and our average revenue take-in's about $1,600. So that to me is a sign that we're doing okay, making $300 or $400 a week on the program.
So you plan on it as a break even, or do you plan on it actually making?
My hope coming into a new program this year, thinking that it was, my initial thought was, all right, we'll take in $45,000. That's gonna turn into 60. When I looked at 45, I wanted to make 5% on a startup program. We spent a couple of $1,000s on miscellaneous stuff. At $60,000, my hope is that we'll make a minimum of 15% off of that, which would be $9,000 to the good. You add up the other stuff like basketball and these camps and so forth, you look at the bottom line of 130, you know, I gotta really, really be surprised if we can't keep 20% of that and set it aside in some kind of account for the future development of the recreation department, or some kind of a building where we can play basketball and not have to get bumped out of there by whatever's in there that day. Have our own location that all of our residents can be proud of. We're certainly charging a fee for Funergy that's low comparatively to some other daycares in the area, and specifically the YMCA, which does basically the same thing that we do. We have a set rate. If you lock yourself into us each week, it's $70. And that affords you a couple of things. You're gonna pay us $70 a week whether you're there or not. You're gonna pay us $70 a week for Christmas vacation. You're gonna pay us $70 a week for April vacation, etc., whether you use it or not. But what it does is, the normal rate is $10 a day, which would be $100, because morning and afternoons each 10. So when we have the full-timers at that $70 rate, and we've got 19 of them, 19 people are locked into mornings and afternoons, that's the base rate where I can look at it and go, boy, we're taking in $1,400 no matter who shows up. We've got a 40-person roster. So half of our people are full-time, 70. The other half are Tuesday only, Thursday only, Monday and Wednesday only, etc. And that little piece of additional money is really where we'll see the profit. I hate to use that word in the municipality, where you'll see money that we should be carrying forward for additional stuff end up at the end of the year. My hope, sincerely, is that the $47,200 that I request out of taxation, the vast, vast majority of which provides us with the maintenance that is so important to us, soccer field, little league field, basketball courts, wells, name it, playgrounds, boat launch, Mill Pond Park, tail house, it's huge, 15 acres. The big piece of the 15-acre gig is this right here, the 47. If we could ever wake up on June 30th with $47,000 in the tank, we'd be truly thrilled, and I think you would be too. I really feel like when you look at this grade of where our taxation dollars has gone, it's a pretty nice thing to look at. Revenues going up is one thing, but if revenues are going up and we're spending more money, it doesn't really get us anywhere. We're taking in 130, we're going to spend 100 on staff. It's good for them, it's good for the kids, they're happy. It's good for our parents too, and our residents of all ages, even as old as Bob. All right?
Thank you, Mike.
Have a nice
I
day.
have a question.
Oh, no questions.
Well, just a thought.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about, at some point, having a recreation building. We're talking about libraries. At some point, is this building adequate? And has there been any thought to looking down the road and looking at some consolidation here and making some buildings that would be centralized and benefit a lot of people a lot of the time, rather than being like the school district and build one here and build one there and, you know?
Tom and I have been having that discussion lately on buildings. We've seen, we've been discussing that,
Okay.
trying to keep stuff centralized more.
More of a complex as
Yeah.
opposed to individual
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
facilities.
tough, we're packed over there. You're talking 36 weeks every day of the school year to have that program in there. And it's really 40 weeks, because I'm subtracting from that 36 the school vacation weeks. You're talking 40 out of 52 weeks of having us in there and having to, having to accommodate us and having to accommodate the committees that are in there, and TOPS, our friends certainly are important to us next door over there. So clearly you can see where we have come from and where we're headed. And my prediction for 2011 is $40,000 north of that. Clearly we've reached the point where, A, we can't go any further, this is it. I got people constantly, I want to start a kids' dance class, I want to start one thing I'd love to do that I just can't find a place for is, we have several people in the district that are trained militarily in jiu-jitsu and other martial arts. They'd love to run classes for me on how women can protect themselves and how young people can protect themselves. Talk about important stuff like our swim program that's keeping people alive. Forget the money. Break even, we're doing what we do, but we got nowhere to put that stuff anymore. We're at capacity, truly at capacity, with what we can do. So I think my budget, if you look at it, I submitted the same thing last year. I asked you to give me somebody officially as a camp and sports director. You didn't think it was the right timing, and I don't blame you. We're looking at a terrible economy, and who knows where we were going to go. Despite that, that same individual made every dollar that I suggested she was going to make, because I can't live without her when I'm taking in that. So we're at a point where, after 10 years of having a department of 1 here, we got a department of 20, whether you approve it or not, literally, because our payroll, based on 11,000 revenues a year, is hard to avoid. So,
Gordon, you had a question?
Yeah, have you given any thought to paid parking down at Friendship Park?
Yes, we've talked about it at Friendship Park.
Yeah, I noticed,
Oh,
I
Friendship,
noticed
I thought you
that
were
there's a
gonna say
parking
go
ride down there by the
There is a
bog.
parking ride down there,
It
boy.
seems like you get more and more vehicles.
I know.
every time I go by, and I was wondering if that would be because we still have to maintain that lot, we have to plow it.
We do. I just, I hate, it's all residents. They're already paying for it, right? They're already paying for it.
We've had this discussion.
We have. We talked about the boat, I thought you were going to say boat launch, and that's something that we've discussed many times. And in fact, John, we had a similar discussion about, should we charge Little League, or should we charge the men's softball league $400, $700, $900 for their gig? And when you hash it all out, you say, well, what is it worth? Is it going to aggravate them? They're already paying for it. I think, and you got people that want to help us give something back anyway. The softball group, for example, replaced all our panel boxes down there for free, replaced all the breakers. They got a cherry picker and they replaced every light bulb on that field. They replaced the back net for me last year that keeps houses from getting hit with softballs. And that all adds up into them essentially paying for that location, And it's the same crew down there at Friendship, Gordon, pretty much every day. It's the Pratt gang is what it is.
Mike, you talk about martial arts and stuff. I think of M.R.S.A Health Center.
Yes.
You might be able to work out something with them where there's a rental fee for they have a room that's
Right.
may not. That may
I
be
believe
open
they already
in the
do
evenings.
it. I believe they already do it. They had Leilani Ricardo, who is an amazing person. She's in college right now. The difficulty we're having too is using Leilani, who used to run classes over there a lot.
Yeah. But they may have may have a couple of evenings open a week that you could work out a rental situation.
Yeah. Okay, gang?
All right? Good?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Yep.
All right, moving on to new business, discussion of recommendation to Charter Commission. All of the committees, including the Board of Selectmen, received a request from the Charter Review Commission asking for input from all of the committees. They're having a meeting on Monday, January 17th, and they'd like to invite the chairs from each committee or representative to attend and provide written input on the committee's information, views, comments of the current charter, and ideas for the future. So I wanted to open this up to the board to submit ideas, and the 12-town group is meeting on Monday night, and I want to go to that meeting, so I didn't know if there was somebody else from the board that could attend the Charter Review Commission meeting at 7.
Don't we have a sitting member of the board on that?
No.
No.
I thought
No.
we were supposed to.
I'm
No.
being told that
No, you
Matt
don't have
did-
to on that.
did
That's-
go over there and check. Is that, okay, let's leave it at that.
I thought there was so many elected people and appointed and
Yeah,
then,
no,
We appointed 3 people, none of them were selectmen.
one of them could have been a...
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I mean, I don't have a problem with going and presenting. I think we've talked through this thing, I don't know, a number of times, but
I mean, I think as we've discussed this over the years, I think we've all kind of come to the agreement that we wanted to see perhaps a hired road commissioner or a public works director as opposed to an elected position. Going through this again, one thing that I saw was we now have a union contract here in the town that we didn't have when the charter was in place. And so I don't know if the language about removal of personnel is appropriate in the charter anymore, based on the fact that we do have a union contract and a personnel policy that dictates how that occurs. So those were some of the thoughts that I had. I don't know
yeah,
what
I think that's, you know, if you kind of go through it, I think those are some of the things that jump right out at you is, you know, we kind of dealt with, although the latest charter that's posted on the website does not include there's a reference to the changes that we made in November of '08 but the committee, the size of the committees has not been adjusted in the words. And I think that, you know, it's almost like, if a committee's not in the charter, can you have the committee? It's a question, I guess, that some people say, or have. So if they address the committee issues of there shall be these mandatory boards and any other boards, and then you can say in a minimum of 5 members and a maximum of
Yeah.
whatever. I think that there's just some structural wording that could be done to a lot of that stuff that would clarify some of that stuff. You know, the hiring panel was another one that we've talked about over the, you know, you can't, how can you begin to hire a department manager with a 15-person board of, you know, of hiring panels, and probably all good ideas at one time, part of a whatever charter outline that was done, but, you know, there's some of the stuff that I think we just can go through, and they can do what they want with it. I mean, we've talked about, you know, town meeting issues, right? Be it referendum budget items, and which today this doesn't allow, right? But, I mean, ultimately, you can make whatever recommendations, the people are going to vote on it, right? Charter Commission doesn't have ultimate say in what gets accepted or what doesn't get accepted. They have ultimate say in what's presented to the people. But
What's the process as far as Charter Commission recommendations and in the Board of Selectmen have separate recommendations? If the Charter, let's say, if the Charter Commission decided that that they're going to recommend continuing with a elected road commissioner, and the Board of Selectmen agreed that it should be a paid Director of Public Works, how does it get to the voter? Does the Board of Selectmen have a, no? So it's got to go through the Charter Commission. Then, as a board, there are some things that probably all 5 of us are going to agree on, and there's some that we don't. And as individuals, as I did a week or so ago, I made my statement, but as a Board of Selectmen, we might wish to look at some of these issues that we agree on and go to the Charter Commission and say, the 5 of us agree on these on these following issues.
Hence the discussion tonight.
Yep.
But I think if we do that, we ought to request a session with the Charter Commission with the 6 of us,
Yes.
not necessarily with, a representative from the board and all the other. I know what they're trying to get things going, and they've got the chairs of all the committees coming in, but at some point in time, I think we as a board and administrator need to sit and look at and just have a good discussion with the Charter Commission members on whether, and I agree with you, John, I think we have consensus on a lot of things. We might not all agree wholeheartedly with everything, and there's some things that we do or will agree, but I think that kind of a dialogue has to take place with the committee or the Charter Commission from us as a group.
And to expand on that, if you remember, I think John was on board and Dennis was, I think it was the vote before this last one for a Charter Commission, there was discussion on how the selectmen should present it to the board, to the people. And the selectmen at that time had made a list of what they would like to see for recommendations. It was posted on the bulletin board out here, and I came across it on my computer a month or so ago, so I'll dig that out and send it to all of you, so you can see what the thoughts were back then.
So
That was like, what, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
4 years ago? Oh, was you on?
No,
So it was before.
and I came on in '07, so.
So it was before that.
So, I mean, this is something we ought to meet on maybe after our budget meetings and determine, go through, and have each one of us come up and make recommendations to the 5, and go through and discuss them and decide which ones have consensus. And those that have consensus, we go forth with them, because if we're all in agreement to it, it's probably important enough to us as working on a weekly basis in this town, that we, in some certain things where it interferes with what we feel is good management in the town, and Nancy agrees too, that we need to make our say public, make our request public.
So in lieu of having somebody attend on Tuesday or Monday evening, would we rather just know we'd like to, oh, actually, I just got something from Diane Holden. In February, the committee intends on meeting with the Board of Selectmen, department heads, and town administrator. So,
Okay,
thank you
so
for
is
emailing
this-
me, Diane.
So is this,
So I guess we're all set, and they'll meet with us in February, but we'll put this as a tickler for an upcoming meeting where, give us a couple of weeks to really go through the charter and all put our thoughts down, and then collectively come together, and that way in February, when the commission is ready to meet with us, we're kind of have a solid plan together.
And I'll get the list out.
Okay. All right. Moving on to old business, discuss transfer station tractor repairs. Clint came to us 3-4 weeks or so ago and told us that the tractors has a few issues. A few. And we tasked him with getting somebody to come down, go through the tractor, and tell us exactly where we stand on it. And Clint came back with repairs that's going to put us up around $12,520. So Clint, why don't you step right up? I'm not going to let you sit back there and hide. And just go through who you spoke to and what they had to say.
Well, it's Tom Rolfe. He's doing the mechanic work on it right now. And he works for Westcott and Sons. And this is done through Westcott and Sons. So you've all got the list of the complete, it's hand throttle cables, repair, replace all the grease fittings, clean the engine, and do the valve cover gaskets. There's all the leak in the fuel tank, which I don't know how he's going to do that, but thinks he can. Flush the brake fluid, repair, replace operator seat cushions, swivels, replace worn backhoe linkage, repair swing on the backhoe, repair the arm cylinders on the backhoe, new rear tires. Now, he started to get figures on that, and I went ahead and did it and helped him out a little bit. Lower left cab glass, make lights and wipers operational, repair and replace dash for warning lights, hour meters, and monitor the engine operation. Also in there, I added in, it came to $13,642.49. There's $1,000 in there to replace the floor in the cab. Because as it is now, when we go out, walk out, we have to walk on the ribs of, because you can see right down through. And I'm,
See where you're going.
So,
You get stuck, you can stick your feet down.
Well,
Don't
boy.
get it up.
Marty Rubble?
Yep.
So, at this point, with this list of repairs that needs to be done, my question would be, what is the tractor worth? Are we going to be putting money into something that's worthy of repair or not worthy of repair?
he said right now, doing these repairs, that backhoe would sell probably at $10,000. If we did the repairs, we'd be around, it would be worth around $15,000.
So,
And he
as
said that-
is 10,
Yeah, roughly in the $10,000 range.
put $12,000 in,
Yeah.
and we'll
It's-
only get $5,000
That's right.
back.
It's never going to really appreciate that much.
Makes you want to jump right out there, don't it?
One of the things that we kind of talked about last week when Fred was here, and,
Yeah.
Fred was talking about the CIP and the tractors, and, Nancy kind of threw this out there, and it was a good idea, looking at replacing tractor that the road department uses, kind of giving that one to you and getting rid of the case. Obviously, that wouldn't happen until we go through budgets and whatnot,
Right.
and I think Fred is working on getting some figures for what it would cost him for a new tractor or whatnot, but, I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but I'm not getting the warm and fuzzies about putting $12,000 into this tractor right now.
And really, he's just going on the assumption the hydraulic pumps are working now. He isn't saying they have to be replaced, but like he said, I can't tell you that's going to last. He just doesn't know. It might last.
How much, have you looked at the situation of what is it gonna cost to keep this thing going for 6 months? That's another issue.
It's usable now. I can use it. He said like the brakes, he can fix the brakes and throttle cables. He could fix that up right now and make it, you could get another year or two out of it if you want to take the chance. But
Well, some things like brakes or hydraulics need to be adequate
Yeah.
and safety,
And the throttle.
Yeah.
Have you gotten estimates from anybody else?
no. I don't know where you'd go to get, I don't know who does that work.
I'm thinking about what's the minimum we can do to get you through the next 6 months and have it safe. And then maybe, as we go through the budget process, we're looking at leasing another tractor and then bring the road tractor over and to the transfer station. But I just hate putting in all this money and having it.
What have we spent year-to-date on maintenance on this tractor? And is there any reason to believe that we're not going to spend the same amount in the next 6 months?
It's way over 4, isn't it, Nancy? Because that last bill, I know he fixed the water pump he fixed that. And while he was down there, he said, if you don't fix the universal joint, you're going to be putting a new motor in this because it's going to come apart It's in a cage, so it just beats on the oil pan. So I just had him put the universal joints in and fix that, so that's done. And while he was there, he fixed the cable, so we, the throttle doesn't stick anymore, but when you go to use the whole part of it, you have to take a bunch of chain and sit on the gas throttle in the front, so I get enough power to make it work. But he said the cable new cable would take care of that.
What about the Rhodes tractor now, off-season? Can that be used at the transfer station until the spring?
Well, I don't know if they can share or not. I
Certainly
mean,
for some things, you wouldn't put it in some issues, like down in the steel pile.
Yeah, see, that's the trouble with taking something that doesn't have the loaded tires. There's so many nails in that place, so many pieces of metal, and glass, and
So we're gonna
Can you
spend,
give your attendance?
you're gonna spend $600, $800 a month in maintenance for the next 6 months until we can sort out what we're gonna do. What did you have in the budget for maintenance?
3,000.
3,000.
He spent 5,000, 5,400.
When we got that backhoe, the seat never worked right, and we just kept putting oil to it and oil to it, and finally it's gone, so you kind of have to sit sideways when you're riding in it. The seat won't turn all the way around. But it has no seat belts or anything in it, and I don't know. You know what I'm thinking?
Well, I mean, it's very obvious. I think as we go into the budgeting season, we need to make some plans for the future, right? What we got is what we got, right? We're gonna have to live with just going forward with what we got and doing minimal repairs so that we know that we're safe and that there, but, I wouldn't go out and spend $12,000 on it.
No, I
We haven't got
wouldn't either.
$12,000 to go spend on it.
I wouldn't either.
But I think it's at least got a baseline of we know what we need to do.
Yeah.
I suppose if you spent the 12, how many more years you got out of it, right? I mean, that's the other thing that you get away.
After you spend the 12, you could spend another, 5,000 or 6,000 just fixing the hydraulics if they go. That's what worries me.
Yeah.
But we have kept that full of oil all the time, and, hydraulic oil. So I don't think, they can last a long time.
It doesn't seem too smart to me, though, to spend 12,000 and have it valued at 15. You're only making 3, really.
Yeah, I know.
When you could sell it now and make 10.
But if you could put 12 in it and it would last for another 4 or 5 years,
Well, yeah.
right? It'd be great.
Yeah.
But
So,
But it doesn't
we
se-
don't know that
doesn't
it's
seem
going to
be the
ask.
case.
Yeah, it sounds like the hydraulics might go on it, and we could put 12 in it and find out we've got to put another 5 in it, and
Have
the
we
next
got-
thing you know, we've got 17,000 invested.
as we go into this budgeting process, do we know what's the future of the current town tractor? When is the lease up?
August.
And where,
Just keep it going, get rid of it.
right, so the question is that the difference would be is we've been turning one back in and getting another one over the last 20 years, right? What would be the difference in what that annual lease is if you don't turn one back in?
We'll turn in the transfer station one. There's got to be some traded value on
You
it.
can sell it, right?
Well, I can't imagine anyone paying $10,000 and realizing they're gonna put 13,000
No
into
way.
it. I mean, it's
No.
not worth $10,000. I don't care who you are, I don't know.
A little sawdust in the transmission.
So
Is there a Carfax on that thing?
so I guess that gives you the answer to that.
Okay.
And we'll move forward and we'll address it during budget season. So, all right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Clint.
you. Thank you.
Just one other question. Before you leave, Clint, What would the cost be if we subcontracted out somebody's services periodically to come in and take care of what we need to have taken care of, push stuff around? Would it be
Yeah.
cheaper than the,
You mean to hire somebody to come in and do it?
Don't
Yeah.
you do it every day?
Yeah, but the problem is, you never know what part of the day you've got to do all these
And I'm
things.
not sure that anybody's gonna put
No.
a tractor that they use every day
Okay.
into that mix.
The situation is, somebody brings in a huge load, you gotta take care of it. You know? You don't know when it's coming.
okay. All right. Was not a good idea.
Okay, next on the agenda is the PACE update. Received a correspondence from Dana Fisher from Efficiency Maine. Back in December, the board signed the contract with Efficiency Maine to allow residents to apply for the PACE Efficiency Maine loans. For those of you that aren't familiar with what PACE is, it's a revolving loan program that's been seeded by $30 million, a $30 million grant to Efficiency Maine. Residents can take a loan of up to $15,000 and use it for energy efficiency improvements to their home, weatherization improvements and whatnot. It's similar to a home equity loan, except that the loan transfers with the property. So if you take out a $15,000 loan today, you sell the house tomorrow, that loan goes with the new owners of the property. Right now, there's 43 towns across the state that have signed agreements with Efficiency Maine to participate, and those residents are the only ones that are eligible to hook into these loans. So Waterboro is ahead of a lot of communities in that we've gotten with the program, and we're ready to move forward. The PACE program is expected to launch at the end of this month, and it's going to be a first-come, first-served basis. So it's important for residents in Waterboro that are going to be interested in applying for one of these loans to make sure that they are prepared for it. There are eligibility requirements for those that want to apply for the loan. Once the program is officially launched, the resident will need to get pre-qualified by Efficiency Maine. They'll have to have an energy audit. They'll have to get some quotes, and there's a list of things that they need to do. Efficiency Maine is in the process of changing over their website. It was geared towards the municipalities that were looking at going with the PACE program. They're going to be changing that over so that it's geared more towards homeowners that want to apply for these loans. And the website for that is www.efficiencymaine.com/PACE, P-A-C-E. And Dave, if you could put a link to that up on the town's website. So that program, once it's up and running, we'll get an official notice from Efficiency Maine, and they'll give us some brochures and literature that we can hand out to residents. So just wanted to put this on the agenda, so it was a tickler for residents to know that this is coming. As a Waterboro resident, you are eligible because we have passed the ordinance, we have signed the contract with Efficiency Maine. So if you're interested, it's going to be something you're going to want to jump on sooner rather than later. Moving on the agenda, we did have the interviews for the town clerk's position on Saturday. Gordon, Nancy, and I participated in that. We do need to bring the rest of the board up to date on that process, but that is something, because it's an employment contract, that will need to be done in executive session. So if somebody would add to the agenda to add an executive session for one M.R.S.A. 6D.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? We'll add that at the very end of the agenda. Next, I would entertain a motion to sign warrants for bills and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Pending decisions, we have the medical marijuana ordinance and the public service announcements. The week's action list. Gordon's going to work on just coordinating the meeting for the 25th. I think that's about it. Discussion of agenda items for next week. John had already put a tickler out to have the committee self-evaluation update. Policy for invoices for POs. John, are you all set with that, or did you want to have a discussion on that, on the PO policy?
No, I think,
You're all
no,
set?
no, no,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll take that off. Want to have Tom come in at the planning board meeting last week, week before. A developer came before the planning board and was looking to have the performance bond for the road waived. And that generated a little bit of conversation, and looking at the current policy, there's some issues that we may need to look at. So Tom has more information on that. So I'd like to have Tom come in next week and talk about the performance bonds. And he had already done some research on this back earlier in the summer. We also will have on the agenda this consent agreement for map 33, lot 25. That's in front of us tonight, so that'll be on for next week. Anything else anybody would like on the agenda?
Could we have the road commissioner come in and report,
On
his weekly report?
Mass Camp Road?
Yes.
On the consent agreement, can we get the rest of what supposedly is part of this package?
They haven't applied yet. They haven't requested it.
I mean, he's talking about, attached to this as a sketch and all this good stuff.
We haven't received any.
Well, we don't get it, my
Then it won't
motion
be
will
on
be
the
next
agenda.
week.
Yep.
Then it will get tabled, but
She's only now sent this to them, so.
we need the whole loaf, not the half.
I think part of the substance of this is what was negotiated along with DEP.
That's fine, but
Yeah,
I'd
but
like to look at it.
Yeah, she does have the plan. I talked to her last week about it.
Okay.
We also have the sheriff coming in to report next week.
Oh, when Mike was here, we forgot to ask him about kindergarten registrations.
I did.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
All right, we might have
We
some,
also have an application for the finance committee, somebody new. We want
Oh.
to schedule an interview just before the meeting, and that way it can be addressed at the meeting.
all right, 5:45, we'll do the finance committee interview. Does that work for everybody? Retired guy down at the end, are you gonna be busy, or,
pretty busy.
yeah, playing golf or something?
In the snow?
Yeah, 5:45.
Okay.
Must be rather,
Well, they've got these indoor places now where you go play with the computer.
oh, you can play with a Wii, I think, now.
Oh, yeah. All right. The other thing we're going to need to think about, too, is the fishing derby is going to be coming up. That's about a month away. So we're
The
going to want to
flyers
have FET come in again and whatnot. We probably need to throw that date out to them now so that they can plan on it.
Flyers are already in the stores. So.
I meant to ask Clinton on an update on the
Project down there.
compactor. Has he said anything to you, Nancy?
I know the compactors was delivered, the steel work was delivered today. Central Maine has been there. But everything is going very smoothly at this point.
Good.
So is the actual compactor there now?
I believe that's what Lucas said when he was in.
CMP did contact us this week. They contacted PM. They're going to be starting to install the smart meters around here February, March timeframe. So they wanted to come in and just kind of talk about who's going to be doing the work, whatnot. They also wanted to talk a little bit about the smart meters because there's, a lot of concerns by some communities. So they just wanted to kind of come in and give an overview of them. Do we know when they're coming?
I threw those 3 dates out, and I haven't heard back.
Okay. Because if we need to get FET in here, kind of need to know when CMP, I wouldn't want to do CMP and FET in the same night.
I can call him tomorrow.
And the fishing derby is the 20th. So we're looking at getting FET in here probably on the 8th or the 15th. I think those are both dates that got thrown out for CMP. So maybe you could follow up with CMP, get them to commit to a date, and then check with FET about coming in on the opposite date. And I think we've done that meeting with them enough times that it should be, our FET meeting should be pretty quick.
Regarding the compactor, in the last field report that was submitted by Sebago Technics, Owen McCullough, he indicates in the last line of that the compactor is expected to be delivered Monday, January 10th. And they will begin working on the hopper and cover assembly.
While you go track down Clint, I'll read the items needing signature, warrants for bills and payroll, reminders. Wednesday, January 12th at 6 p.m., the Road Review Committee is meeting at the Town Hall. Thursday, January 14th, 6:30 p.m., the Old Home Days Committee is meeting at Town Hall. Also at 7 p.m., the Finance Committee is meeting at Town Hall. And on Thursday, the Board of Selectmen are meeting here at Town Hall at 5 p.m. for a budget workshop. So can we make sure that we get that posted, please? Monday, January 17th, 6 p.m., the Water District Trustees, Town Hall. At 6:30 is the 12-town group here at the Annex, and at 7 p.m. is the Charter Review at the Town Hall. Tuesday, January 18th, 6 p.m., the Selectmen's meeting at the Town Hall. Reporting is going to be Saco River Cable TV Board and the Cable TV Committee. And with that, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session. Oh, Clint? Found him.
Okay. As far as the compactor goes, all the cement work is done now. Compactor was delivered yesterday. It's underneath that tent there. They pushed it right in on the cover. And he's going to do all the building of the hopper and everything right there in that tent. I don't know if you've all seen it or not, but everything's inside now. The VFD unit that's going to be mounted outside, that was delivered yesterday. That was $3,700 just for that little box as well. The poles are in, the service panel is in, the wire that goes up the pole, that's all hooked up, and I guess we're just waiting for Central Maine. I won't say anything.
I know, I was thinking the same thing.
The grading is done, pretty much done all the way around. He has ordered the metal, and I guess everything is over to Morin Steel, except for this, like 4 pipes that have to come in. And that should be delivered this week.
And when you receive the new Central Maine bill, you will be seeing a deposit. We have to put down a $200 deposit that they will hold. And they hold it, and it was like, when they explained it to me, I said, is this like a security deposit?
They hold it forever.
Yeah.
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 Never get it back.
So when...
And they're going to break it up over the months.
You used to put it in, a deposit, right? And after like 5 years, you get it back, whatnot. Now they don't give it
They're
back.
going to hold it.
Stupid.
So when's the estimated time of operation?
I would say probably another month. He should have everything done. They're working on the walls inside. They're taking all the rough spots off, grinding them all off. He's doing a really nice job. A lot of little extra things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christen it with a bottle of Moxie, maybe?
Is he still prefabbing some of the components at his house that he's going to
No,
put down
he's
there?
decided he's going to do it all right in that
Oh,
big
it's
tent
gonna-
that's there.
okay.
He's going to put everything on a trailer, back it in. There's a lot of room under there, bigger than it looks. So most everything's going to be built right there. But other than that, it's coming really, it looks nice. It really does. Thank you.
Thank you, Clint.
All right, with that, I would entertain that we go into executive session, entertain a motion, we'll go into an executive session after a brief recess to sign.
So moved.
All right, second. All those in favor? and we'll be adjourning after that.
We have the site for that.